Like my first day, I'm actually sitting up, guys. I was not sitting like this, like ever. Hey guys. Okay, so it is now Saturday. I have been home now I came home on Wednesday. So Wednesday is the first day I was home. So this is now my fourth day being home. And I'm feeling, today I feel like noticeably better. Still some pain, especially when I walk, like right here in this area, and then sometimes in this one. I'm not sure if that has to do with the way that my doctor, like how he separated my muscles, or really what it has to do with if there's like an organ that was moved. But these are the main areas. My actual surgical site, as you can see, I still have on my my belly binder. My actual surgical site isn't really causing me any pain. At like 7 o'clock in the morning, I was feeling some pain, like it was kind of some significant amounts of pain, but I didn't take any of my oxycodone. I've been cutting back. Yesterday I didn't take much. I do like to take a couple before I go to bed. Like I'll take one for pain, and then like if I know I'm uncomfortable and I'm trying to get to sleep, I might just take another one just to kind of like let me go to sleep. But at like 7, I was feeling some discomfort, but I didn't take anything. I did just take one because I was able to use the bathroom for the first time. I know that might be TMI, sorry guys, but I'm just excited and happy that I finally went because I was afraid. A friend of mine just had a C-section, and she told me that she had to go to the hospital and have a suppository given to her so that she could use the bathroom. And I was like, no, that's not happening to me. So I'm just gonna keep taking these stool softeners and take more of them. I know on the bottle it says I can take up to 3 a day. I know I took 2 yesterday. I need to take another one now. But anyway, after using the bathroom, I took a shower, got dressed, and all of that walking around and moving around, and like I did it all myself. I didn't need Jeremy to help me with like getting my lower legs or like my feet or anything. I was able to do it myself, and I even was able to put lotion all over my body myself. But it was just a lot of moving and bending, and so then I was feeling the pain, like I said, here and here. So I did take one of the oxys. I need to take one of the stool softeners too, just to make sure that I continue to be able to go. But I'm just happy, guys. So I guess this is what my surgery was on Tuesday. So this is day 4 after my surgery and 4 days post-op, and I'm doing pretty good. It's like my first day. I'm actually sitting up, guys. I was not sitting like this, like ever. I was laid out. This is my spot. I was laid on my back the whole time, but I'm so happy that I'm actually able to sit down and just watch TV sitting up, especially because my back was hurting me more than anything, because I mean a couch is not meant for you to sleep on, especially not on your back. I think on your side it's fine, but I can't do my side yet. So yeah, doing pretty good. Hey guys, so it is officially 2 weeks since my surgery, my myomectomy. So far, I have been getting better every day. For the most part, now I don't feel pain at all when I'm sitting, usually. It is strange that I do have pain on the left side of my incision site. Really, it's at the very end, and that's the place where sometimes the pain radiates all the way to, like, it'll start here where my incision is, and it'll radiate back to my hip, and then also sometimes right in the crevice, right in my lower back area. So, but only on my left side. So sometimes it makes it hard where I can't sleep on my left side. I haven't slept on my left side at all. This morning I was able to tolerate laying on my left side for just a few minutes. And then I got up. But it's much better, because before this, I wasn't able to lay on the left side at all without feeling like pain that just it would just persist. It would not go away. So each day it is getting better. Now I normally only feel pain if I'm walking. If I'm walking around, I'll feel it, or if I'm doing some type of physical activity. Today, like right now, I'm feeling more pain than normal, I would say, because earlier I wasn't really feeling that much pain at all. I was able to stand straight up, which I was so happy about when I first got up. And I will say in the mornings, I usually don't feel any pain anyway. I guess for laying down for so many hours, I feel great in the morning. So after I took my shower and everything, I just noticed that I can stand straight up. And I was just really excited about that. But it's a process, I understand. So this is 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks to go, according to my doctor, for my recovery process. Although I do know that some women take longer to recover, but I have 2 more weeks. And then, I don't know, my job is very physical. I'm not sure if I'm going to really feel comfortable going back into that or what I'm going to do. Today, I will say, what I was saying is, this morning I was feeling really good. I was able to stand straight up. I was feeling great all the way up until I ended up pulling, and essentially I lifted up my stepson's chair while he was sitting in it. So basically I lifted him up, and he weighs 60 pounds, and I guess the chair weighs a couple pounds too. So I lifted that up, and ever since then I've been feeling pain in my right at the end of my incision site. I don't feel any pain right now while I'm sitting, but I know that was not a good idea. And I thought about it afterwards. Like, I'm not supposed to lift anything heavier than 10 pounds. So I've been monitoring myself and hoping that I don't bleed. I haven't noticed any increase in my bleeding at all. By the way, I did just have a menstrual cycle, which I am so happy to report that it was the lightest that I have had in years, like literally over 5 years, the lightest it has ever been. So, and that was shocking, because my doctor said that this one will be heavier and that the future ones will be the ones that I can see. Like, my next one should show me what my future ones will be like. So I think I'm out of frame, I was really excited and just happy when I realized, like, wait, so this is it now? It's amazing. I'm really happy that I made that decision to have the myomectomy surgery. I just feel like for the quality of my life and everything, it is just necessary. My health, everything. I mean, how severely anemic I was, it was awful. So I'm very happy with my decision. So, yep, we're at day 14. I'm just hoping that the pain on my left side, that goes away. I was questioning if this is even normal. I did watch some videos of other women and their experiences with having this surgery, or I watched a lot of videos with women having C-sections, because essentially it's the same surgery. It's a very similar surgery, except instead of taking out a baby, my doctor cut off some fibroids and then sewed me back up. But so I watched some of their videos, and I did see some where they spoke about having pain right at the ends. And so that made me feel way more comfortable, just knowing that I'm not the only one that experienced this. So, like, okay, if it gets worse, or like if it was getting worse, and it wasn't getting better at all, then I would contact my doctor. I thought about it, but I think this is okay. Day 14, doing much better. Each day is getting much better. Hey guys, so I am on my way to my 3-week checkup appointments with my OBGYN, who is also my surgeon. This is the third time that I've been outside. The first time we just went driving around, and that was on Saturday. Yeah, because my mom came on Sunday. Right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was Saturday. We just went driving around. Today is Wednesday, by the way. Yesterday made 3 weeks since. Yesterday made 3 weeks since I had my surgery, like to the date. And are they still in that car? So yeah, so I went out on Saturday. Oh, shit. So I went out on Saturday. We went out, we were just driving around. I just had to pick up something from the Amazon locker. So we did that and then drove. Wow, that was us. We did that and then Jeremy just drove me different places. It's like moving like molasses.
What's the best way to go?
Get on the highway, get off at Asylum, and just go straight.
Get off at Asylum?
So Jeremy just drove me around to just look at nice houses and things. Really, we were just, it was late. It wasn't that late. It was only like 5 something, but it was already dark. So we didn't really do much. We didn't have anything planned to do. Plus, Jet was with us. He actually spent the last 2 weeks with us. So he was here, and we didn't really want to keep him out he was bored. He actually was asleep almost the entire car ride, and we were driving around for like an hour. But it was just a nice little ride. I will say that night when we got back to the house and I had to get out of the car, it was hard for me to get out the car at first. I, for whatever reason, decided to wear jeans. It was not a good idea. I have not worn jeans since. Normally, I don't even wear pants. Like, I don't like to wear pants. It just adds too much pressure on my incision. But I mean, I have on leggings today. And those leggings are comfortable for me now. At first, leggings were not comfortable, but they're comfortable for me now. But anyway, that day when I had on the jeans, it was really hard for me to get, like, I noticed when I had to get out the car, it just was very, very painful, just right here where the area my jeans were. So I had to unbutton and unzip them. And I walked back to the house, hobbled over. I can walk standing straight up now, but then I really couldn't. So that was the first day. Then my second time going out was actually yesterday. We just went to pick up Jet. He was with us again last night. So we picked him up, and I just decided to go to so I could get out the house. I haven't had anywhere to go. And so yeah, today is my 3rd time going outside, and I feel good. I can walk around. I feel like I would like to go somewhere and see something. I feel like I've literally been on house arrest all this time, but it's not bad. So yeah, I'm on my way to my appointment today. I guess my doctor will let me know if I'm all set to go back to work next week. I think that I will be, because I don't feel any pain, like I said. So I feel like I should be good to go back to work. But I'll have him decide. So yeah. Okay guys, so I'm back. I had my appointment with my OBGYN. He checked everything, and like I thought, he said everything looks good. He said that I should be good to go back to work next week. I will have to take it easy though, but I'm looking really good. He told me that I still have to go 4 more weeks past next week before, like, I don't even put that part in. But he said that I'm free to go ahead and get like a wax, just try to avoid that area. That it'll get better, like over time, it'll just like keep getting better and better. He again reiterated that there were no issues, no complications during the surgery, so I really don't have anything to worry about. I explained to him that I can't wear the binder, that it felt like the compression was just causing pain, and he said that because I don't really have a belly, he said that I don't really need that like that anyway. He said that's more so when women have like a belly, they might need that extra support. But he said for me, he said, you know, some women, they don't need it, and you know, I'm one of those women. I'm looking good, doing well. He said, like he said, over time it'll just get better. I'll be able to feel when I've gone too far, if I did too much. But yeah, so everything looks good. I'm happy. We actually drove around for a few hours afterwards. And yeah, now I'm just home relaxing, and I'm excited to just get my life back. Hey guys, so I just wanted to close this out. It is actually now week 5. Today is Tuesday, so it is exactly 5 weeks from my surgery. Last week, my doctor said would be the day that I would be fully healed, 4 weeks. And I will say that starting after the 3rd week, I would say like a couple days after that, I felt perfectly back to myself. I was kind of nervous about that because I saw people saying in their videos online that they were feeling like themselves after like 2 weeks or so. And I was still having pain in certain areas at certain times. My left side, for example, whenever I would lay or put pressure on that side, that's when I would feel pain. So I didn't know if that was normal. But like I said, I went to my appointment the day after my 3rd week. The day after 3 weeks from the surgery. So I went the Wednesday, I had my surgery on Tuesday. So after my 3 weeks, my doctor said that that's normal. He said that it is going to be like over time, I'll notice when I've done too much. My body is still healing. But it was all normal. And I will say that I've been feeling like myself. I've been able to go to the studio to record my voice. I was worried that I wasn't going to have the full capabilities of my voice back. Like I didn't know if singing, if it was going to be, you know, hard for me, if I had to put pressure in that area a bit. But no, for a couple of weeks now, I've been singing. And so I feel like I'm back to my old self. I am so happy that I had the surgery done. I will say that. I know some people have been saying, you know, that they wanted to do different things to get over their fibroids or combat it. They wanted to try the holistic route, which I am 100% for. I mentioned before, but I do want to move forward and change my eating habits and my diet, because now that I'm fibroid free, and I will say my doctor said that I don't have any other fibroids growing, that the reason that there were 3 instead of 2 was because the big one was so big, it was blocking one that was small, so they couldn't see it. So it wasn't like I grew another fibroid. It just, they couldn't see it when they did my ultrasounds. So he doesn't feel like I'm going to be growing any new ones. There are none that were left over. I'm not sure why the nurse said that there was a small one that they couldn't get. That wasn't it. He said they're all gone. But I want to just do what I can just to be on the safe side to prevent this from happening. So I am going to be changing my eating habits, and trying to eat a more alkaline diet, like majority of the time, so that I can prevent my body from forming these abnormal tumors again. So yeah, overall, I feel great. I am happy. My scar itself is healing beautifully. Certain parts of my scar, it doesn't even look like I had surgery done there at all. So, and it's crazy because it's like, it's just shocking. I mean, you can feel it, and I will say that it is still numb. Just when I put my finger along the area of my scar, it is numb still. So I am feeling that, but I feel like myself. I feel great. I feel like myself. I have energy. I am so happy that my anemia is gone. I haven't been feeling cold. I used to keep the heat in my house at 78 degrees, sometimes 79, and I would still be feeling cold. And I'm over here in hoodies and sweatpants with 79 degrees. And my husband and my stepson will be in here sweating bullets. And so, yeah, I haven't been feeling cold abnormally at all. Well, really, I haven't been feeling that since I had the iron infusions, but overall it feels good. And I will say that my periods, I've never had periods like this that are just like, it is just a complete 180. It's insane. I've never had periods this light, and it feels like forever. So I'm gonna close this out. I'll be back with other Girl Talk Tuesday videos, discussing other topics, but I just wanted to finish this. I really wanted to get to you guys last week, and I'm sorry. I've actually been very busy, which is crazy because I wasn't doing anything before, but now I'm busy, like very, very busy now. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks again so much for watching. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe. It really does help. Share this with anybody who you feel might find this interesting, or they can relate. Share this with any women that you know, period, because I feel there needs to be more discussion about fibroids, female reproductive system, our health. I don't understand why we have health class that discusses STDs and other issues, but we don't discuss fibroids or endometriosis or PCOS, just the things that women go through. That is so common, and so many of us go through it. But then when it happens to us, it's like, well, how, if it's so common, why have I never heard about this? So let's make it more common to discuss these type of things, and let's also make it common for men to hear these type of things so that they can know what it is that women go through. But yeah, so if you know anyone, send this to them. Like it if you do, and I'll see you in my next video.